Ezekiel chapter 28. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, say unto the prince of Tyre, Thus saith the Lord God, Because thine heart is exalted, and thou hast said, I am a god, I sit in the seat of God in the midst of the sea, yet thou art but a man, and not God. And though thou didst think in thine heart that it wast equal with God, behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. With thy wisdom and thy understanding thou hast gotten thee riches, and hast gotten gold and silver into thy treasures. By thy great wisdom and thy occupying thou hast increased thy riches, and thine heart is lifted up because of thy riches. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, Because thou didst think in thine heart that thou wast equal with God, behold, therefore, I will bring strangers upon thee, even the terrible nations, and they shall draw their swords against the beauty of thy wisdom, and they shall defile thy brightness. They shall cast thee down to the pit, and thou shalt die the death of them that are slain in the midst of the sea. Wilt thou say then before him that slayeth thee, I am a god? But thou shalt be a man, and no God, in the hands of him that slayeth thee. Thou shalt die the death of the uncircumcised by the hands of strangers, for I have spoken it, saith the Lord God. Moreover the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, take up a lamentation upon the king of Tyre, and say unto him, Thus saith the Lord God, Thou sealest up the song, and art full of wisdom, and perfect in beauty. Thou hast been in Eden, the garden of God. Every precious stone was in thy garment, the ruby, the topaz, and the diamond, the chrysolite, the onyx, jasper and sapphire, emerald, and the carbuncle and gold. The workmanship of thy timbrels and of thy pipes was prepared in thee in the day that thou wast created. Thou art the anointed cherub that covereth, and I have set thee in honor. Thou wast upon the holy mountain of God. Thou hast walked in the midst of the stones of fire. Thou wast perfect in thy ways in the day that thou wast created, till iniquity was found in thee. The multitude of thy merchandise, they have filled the midst of thee with cruelty, and thou hast sinned. Therefore I will cast thee as profane out of the mountain of God, and I will destroy thee, covering cherub, from the midst of the stones of fire. Thine heart was lifted up because of thy beauty, and thou hast corrupted thy wisdom by reason of thy brightness. I will cast thee to the ground. I will lay thee before kings, that they may behold thee. Thou hast defiled thy sanctification by the multitude of thine iniquities, by the iniquity of thy merchandise. Therefore will I bring forth a fire from the midst of thee, which shall devour thee, and I will bring thee to ashes upon the earth, in the sight of all them that behold thee. All they that know thee among the people shall be astonished at thee. Thou shalt be a terror, and never shalt thou be any more. Again the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Sidon, and prophesy against it, and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I come against thee, O Sidon, and I will be glorified in the midst of thee. And they shall know that I am the Lord, when I shall have executed judgments in her, and shall be sanctified in her. For I will send into her pestilence, and blood into her streets, and the slain shall fall in the midst of her. The enemy shall come against her with the sword on every side, and they shall know that I am the Lord. And they shall be no more a prickling thorn unto the house of Israel, nor any grievous thorn of all that are around about them, and despise them. And they shall know that I am the Lord God. Thus saith the Lord God, When I shall have gathered the house of Israel from the people where they are scattered, and shall be sanctified in them in the sight of the heathen, then shall they dwell in the land that I have given to my servant Jacob, and they shall dwell safely therein, and shall build houses and plant vineyards. Yea, they shall dwell safely, when I have executed judgments upon all round about them that despise them, and they shall know that I am the Lord their God. Ezekiel chapter 29. In the 10th year, in the 10th month, in the 12th day of the month, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and prophesy against him, and against all Egypt. Speak and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I come against thee, Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the great dragon that lieth in the midst of the rivers, which hath said, The river is mine, and I have made it for myself. But I will put hooks in thy jaws, and I will cause the fish of thy rivers to stick into thy scales, and I will draw thee out of the midst of the rivers, and all the fish of thy rivers shall stick into the scales. And I will leave thee in the wilderness, both thee and all the fish of thy rivers. Thou shalt fall upon the open field, thou shalt not be brought together, nor gathered, for I have given thee for meat to the beasts of the field and to the fowls of the heaven. And all the inhabitants of Egypt shall know that I am the Lord, because they have been a staff of reed to the house of Israel. And they took hold of thee with their hand, thou didst break and rent all their shoulder. When they leaned upon thee, thou breakest and madest all their loins to stand upright. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will bring a sword upon thee, and destroy man and beast out of thee. The land of Egypt shall be desolate and waste, and they shall know that I am the Lord, because he hath said, The river is mine, and I made it. Behold, therefore, I come upon thee, upon thy rivers, and I will make the land of Egypt utterly waste and desolate from the tower of Syene even until the borders of the black moors. No foot of man shall pass by it, foot of beast shall pass by it, neither shall it be inhabited 40 years. And I will make the land of Egypt desolate, in the midst of the countries that are desolate, and her cities shall be desolate among the cities that are desolate for 40 years. And I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and will disperse them through the countries. Yet thus saith the Lord God, At the end of 40 years will I gather the Egyptians from the people where they are scattered, and I will bring again the captivity of Egypt, and will cause them to return into the land of Pathros, into the land of their habitation. They shall be there a small kingdom. It shall be the smallest of the kingdoms, neither shall it exalt itself any more above the nations. For I will diminish them, and they shall no more rule the nations. And it shall be no more the confidence of the house of Israel to bring their iniquity to remembrance by looking after them. So shall they know that I am the Lord God. In the 27th year also, in the first month, in the first day of the month, came the word of the Lord unto me, saying, Son of man, Nebuchadnezzar king of Babel caused his army to serve a great service against Tyre. Every head was made bald, and every shoulder was made bare. Yet he had no wages, nor his army for Tyre, for the service that he served against it. Therefore thus saith the Lord God, Behold, I will give the land of Egypt unto Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babel, and he shall take her multitude, and spoil her spoil, and take her prey, and it shall be for wages for his army. I have given him the land of Egypt for his labor, that he served against it, because they wrought for me, saith the Lord God. In that day will I cause the horn of the house of Israel to grow, and I will give thee an open mouth in the midst of them, and they shall know that I am the Lord. Ezekiel chapter 30. The word of the Lord came again unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord God, Howl and cry, Woe be unto this day! For the day is near, and the day of the Lord is at hand, a cloudy day. It shall be the time of the heathen, and the sword shall come upon Egypt, and fear shall be in Ethiopia, when the slain shall fall in Egypt, and when they shall take away her multitude, and when her foundations shall be broken down, Ethiopia and Put and Lud and all the common people and Tub and the men of the land that is in the league shall fall with them by the sword. Thus saith the Lord, they also that maintain Egypt shall fall, and the pride of her power shall come down. The tower of Syene shall they fall by the sword, saith the Lord God. And they shall be desolate in the midst of the countries that are desolate, and her cities shall be in the midst of the cities that are wasted. And they shall know that I am the Lord, when I have set a fire in Egypt, and when all her helpers shall be destroyed. In that day shall their messengers go forth from me in ships, to make the careless Moors afraid, and fear shall come upon them, as in the day of Egypt, for lo, it cometh. Thus saith the Lord God, I will also make the multitude of Egypt to cease by the hand of Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babel, for he and his people with him, even terrible nations, shall be brought to destroy the land, and they shall draw their swords against Egypt, and fill the land with the slain. And I will make the rivers dry, and sell the land into the hands of the wicked, and I will make the land waste, and all that therein is by the hands of strangers. I, the Lord, have spoken it. Thus saith the Lord God, I will also destroy their idols. I will cause the idols to cease out of Noph, and there shall be no more a prince of the land of Egypt. And I will send a fear in the land of Egypt, and I will make Pathros desolate, and will set fire in Zoan, and I will execute judgment in No, and I will pour my wrath upon Sin, which is the strength of Egypt, and I will destroy the multitude of No, and I will set on fire in Egypt. Sin shall have great sorrow, and No shall be destroyed, and No shall have sorrows daily. The young men of Avon and of Ki Beseth shall fall by the sword, and those cities shall go into captivity. At Tahaphanes the day shall restrain his light, and when I break thee there the bars of Egypt. And when the pomp of her power shall cease in her, the cloud shall cover her, and her daughters shall go into captivity. Thus will I execute judgments in Egypt, and they shall know that I am the Lord. And in the 11th year, in the 1st month, and in the 7th day of the month, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and lo, it shall be bound up to be healed, neither shall they put a roll to bind it, and so make it strong to hold the sword. Therefore thus saith the Lord, Behold, I come against Pharaoh king of Egypt, and will break his arm that was strong, but is now broken, and I will cause the sword to fall out of his hand, and I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and will disperse them through the countries, and I will strengthen the arm of the king of Babel, and put my sword in his hand, but I will break Pharaoh's arm, and he shall cast out sighings, as the sighings of him that is wounded before him. But I will strengthen the arms of the king of Babel, and the arms of Pharaoh shall fall down, and they shall know that I am the Lord, when I shall put my sword into the hand of the king of Babel, and he shall stretch it out upon the land of Egypt. And I will scatter the Egyptians among the nations, and disperse them among the countries, and they shall know that I am the Lord.